Let's get down there, flaming skulls!
For the last time, Orkite, that is not our name.
Maybe we should table this argument until after the hunt?
Looks like we did it!
Nothing gets my blood running like the hunt. How about it, Aloy? Did you find the next part?
That's another part down. One more and you'll have what you need to pay off Bergrand.
Starting to feel real, you know. I'm starting to believe we're really gonna get out of here. Honestly, I wasn't sure we'd survive a week without Nakoni. But here we are.
Who's Nakoni?
Nakoni was... she was a friend of ours. She challenged the chieftain for control of the Werak.
She didn't make it.
No. If you're gonna tell this story, tell it true. She was murdered.
What happened? How did you lose Nakoni?
She challenged the chieftain to a hunting competition. Onikut, damn him! He wasn't nearly the hunter Nakoni was. But who comes back to the camp after the trial? Onikut, grinning like a snap maw, crowing, "Oh, where's little Nakoni?"
We tracked Nakoni through the woods. Found her not far from the trailhead.
Their damn neck snapped.
I don't want to remember her like that. Sometimes that memory... it's all I can think of.
I'm sorry, Tatai. It sounds like she meant a lot to you. To all of you. Is this why you left Banor? Because of this business with Nakoni and your chieftain?
Onakut knew Nakoni was our mentor, our friend. We couldn't stay.
That final night, we snuck back to camp, packed what we could, and left.
Like cowards.
What are we, Tatai? We are Banuk, aren't we? Survive and prevail. That's what we do.
It's not what she did.
Nakoni challenged the chieftain. Why?
Onikut wrapped himself in power and authority the way some people wrap themselves in furs. If you were willing to fawn over him and sing false songs to him, you might get a spot on the best hunts. The Werak split into two. Those willing to lick the bottoms of Onikut's feet, and the rest of us, waiting for things to get better.
Until Nakoni.
She was the best and bravest of us. She was the one who took a stand.
I'm sorry for what you've been through.
It's nice to be heard. Thank you, Aloy.
Look, it doesn't matter, okay? What happened in Banor is buried in Banor. What matters now is what happens in the Sundom. That's where the burning turkeys are gonna make a name for ourselves, right?
Oh, the burning turkeys? Seriously?
It rolls off the tongue.
Sort of like vomit?
So, where to next?
There's a lake just west of here. Seems like a good place to find a snapmaw fang. We'll meet you there.
If you beat us there, just wait by the campfire. We'll be along.
Not too much already. Easy, easy. Forget what warmth feels like out here. figurine. You look fierce for such a little thing. Care to talk about these figurines?
They're not really mine.
There you go, Anjuk.
By the blue light, I didn't know if I'd ever see the whole collection reunited. And look at them. They're beautiful. You've done a great thing, Aloy. These may represent the last record that any of these beasts ever lived. Take this. It's the least I can do. And come back anytime. I and our animal friends await your return.
That's all for now.
Until next time, then.
No sign of them yet. Guess I'll just sit and wait. I was starting to worry about you three. Everything all right?
We took our time. After our last conversation, we had a lot to think about.
I can imagine. Just one more hunt, then your debt is paid and you three can make your way south. Ready?
Huntress, the Sunshine Snowshoes await your signal.
Horrible!
I'm almost impressed, Dulamok. Didn't think you could come up with a name worse than burning turkeys.
Well, I liked it. Let's hunt.
This one's mine!
helps us. Bergrund helps Aloy. Everyone's better off.
That was refreshing.
Come here, Aloy. Let's have a proper goodbye, huh?
There. That's the last of Bergrund's parts. Looks like you three are out of debt.
For now. Until Urkai breaks something else.
It was one time!
You make a nice shaman, Aloy. Thanks for lending a hand. Maybe we'll meet you in the Sundom sometime.
You won't have me to strip your kills now. Are you three gonna be alright?
Doesn't look that hard, really. We'll be fine.
Great. He watches 3 successful harvests and he's suddenly a shaman.
When you get to Song's Edge, talk to Bergrund. If he can't teach you himself, he'll know someone who can.
Sure. And I bet he charges us for the introduction.
Thank you, Aloy. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
I guess this is goodbye. How does it feel, putting Banuk lands behind you?
The only thing I would have missed is already gone.
Let all those rotten Banor suck-ups freeze to death.
It's a little much, Urkai, don't you think? That's strange. What is it to be Banuk after Banur forsakes you? How do we decide who we are? How about you, Aloy? Who do you think we are? What will you remember of us?
Look around. You've taken down more machines since you left Banur than some hunters take down in a year.
Shattered hearts and all, right, Urkai?
It wasn't shattered.
But you took down a Thunderjaw to get that heart, didn't you?
We did. So, silly suggestion. But what if we were the Shattered Hearts?
You know, I actually like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Thank you, Aloy, for seeing us for who we are.
you'll do. One for Sakuli. Bergrand, how'd your investment pay out?
Quite handsomely, thanks very much. Hey, do you know those three crazy Banuk are calling themselves the Shattered Hearts now? Well, now that I have those parts, I can pay off a debt of my own.
So they've gone south then?
Aye, that they have. I've got a friend in the Sundom by the name of O'Toole. He owes me a favor. Old O'Toole is a machine scavenger, a pretty competent one. So I sent them to learn from the best.
Or at least from the pretty competent.
Well, we work with the resources we have. Speaking of which, here, a token of my gratitude.
When the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small, it was she who led us through the frozen wastes. We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken bones. Everywhere Banukai and Hawerak fled, the ravenous tribe were never far behind. Seeking a way to defeat them, Banukai went into the waste and let the wind rip her cheeks. And when the cold they saw it behind them.
Bandits are not my fellows. Well done in the hunting grounds, Outlander. Your song spreads with you.
We spent a lot of time clinging to Banner's crags, Araya and I. But I knew she'd climb where I couldn't follow.
I know it's hard to lose a friend, Sakuli. I seem to see a lot of it.
It aches. But I won't let myself cry. This thin air freezes the tears to your cheeks. Excellent! Mix these with machine oil. The paint gets a shine like teeth in the moonlight.
I'll see you again.
If you do find any pigments out there, don't put them on your tongue.
I'm not even going to ask.
All of my interactions with Araya were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Aurea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron and took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location. One I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Aurea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge, and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Araya.
You're asking me if you should lie to them?
Broadly, yes.
Life is hard for the Banuk. Their world is unforgiving in their beliefs. I guess they help to keep them going. So take it easy on them. Try to guide them, bring them around to understanding what you are.
Communion with machines features heavily in the mysticism of the Banuk. I think they will be agreeable to this approach.
As long as they don't end up worshipping you.
Upon consideration, I believe such an experience would be intensely uncomfortable.
You're right about that. Trust me.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing. I can't feel much of anything in this.
My chieftain.
Just Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
She was willing to fight. She wouldn't let anything stop her.
She was Banuk until the end. I was wrong. The Karja never broke her, only made her stronger.
So it wasn't your failure. It was her decision.
They always said I had an unshakable will. But Araya's was the mountain I could only aspire to. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrak can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You can stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
Coming back.
She'll be back. She never falters.
But if she has...
The daemon vanished.
Then I'm the one who can
destroyed,
blow a spear the farthest.
And I'm the one who can climb ice the fastest.
You have passed one test. The next test is of silence. A Werek chieftain from the Nora. Strange omens. What do you make of it, Shaman?
My thoughts on this are... clouded. I must... take in the smoke of burnt wires to clear them.
We are of the White Teeth, come down from the jawbone of Banur to test those who would run with us.
A test? In those hunting grounds?
No, it is an ordeal. Survive upon the glacier and the knife trail, as our ancestors did. It's been a harsh season. 2 have yet to return. We shall wait. Then we shall bless their attempt. Then we shall leave.
So who are the White Teeth?
Warriors. The first and the best. All young hunters hungry for the fight seek to run with us. Now the machines are angered. There was always fighting. We are well served, eh, Shaman?
Every day lightning cracks in the smoke of battle. Every night a new name to honor in song.
What about the 2 who haven't returned?
It was their ordeal to face alone. Their life or death. Those who return know the White Teeth run alongside them. Those who do not know the White Teeth marked their attempt.
How generous. What does this ordeal involve?
To scale the glacier's face and endure 4 days and 4 nights, sustained only from the frozen ground to the machines. Our shaman has blessed the ordeal and permitted their harvest.
Metal to fashion weapons. Rest is forbidden.
Aren't you even going to look for your missing hunters?
In time. As months pass, the meltwater often carries the bodies out.
Unbelievable. If there's a chance they're alive, then I'll look for them.
Even if they did still live, they will not accept your aid, Outlander. To us, survival is sacred.
Nothing else can be relied upon.
We'll see. Survival is sacred. So they leave people to die? Getting too steep to ride.
You're back for more. Good. The Chieftain's trial is a challenge that will push even the mightiest hunter to their limits. Only the largest, most dangerous machines will be loosed into the arenas. Learn their weaknesses quickly, and do what you can to exploit them. To best them and survive, that is an ordeal worthy of a chieftain. If you're prepared, take the rope and face the trial. We'll need a moment to pull the machines from the path. Your first run on that trial, and you claimed second place. The chieftain's trial, only the large learn their way to best them. Use the rope to get to the arena, and we'll start. We'll need a moment to pull the machines from the pass and...
This might even the odds. If I'm gonna prove myself in these trials, I should do it fair and square.
You took first place by the throat. Before you, it was unheard of for an outlander to perform so well.
No more trials, not yet.
You can always come back.
Not built for mountain climbing, huh? think I found one of the hunters.
Never catch me like that.
An outlander, huh? Well, who else would join me on this path I've taken?
Which path would that be?
Away from tradition. Away from the Werak. It's not so. Damn. They need metal too. But my need is greater.
Still, the Banuk don't accept help. Is it true?
They don't. I do.
Mine now.
An outlander. Chieftain of a Werak. It's stranger in the cut than I thought.
You're telling me.
You fight well. I am a Cree.
Thank you. I'm Aloy. I heard the White Teeth were missing 2 hunters. You look like you could leave if you wanted to, so...
I stayed because of the other. Mylen. She snapped her leg descending the ice. I bided my time keeping vigil, but now she must return to the Werak before they leave.
You know this Mylan well.
Since our knees were always skinned. All my life. In a test to prove that we only need ourselves. That was my weakness.
Sounds like she was lucky for your weakness.
That's not the way she sees it.
Mylan won't let you help her, will she? Because of the rules of this test.
You're quick as a rockfall.
No, just used to being told what's forbidden to me.
She won't allow it. Won't take the medicinal plants I found or the food. Only what she can scrape up on hands and knees. I could get close when she was delirious, but now she's learned not to let me get close.
So let's get her back to the Werrick.
All right. I've made a splint for her leg. Medicine for the pain, but I should warn you, she won't take them willingly. The law of survival...
Tribal law shouldn't keep us apart from the ones we care for.
Even if she cares more for the law. Let's go. While there's light.
Are you with me?
Won't waste this.
Let's go. While there's light. Let's go. While there's light. Come. Up. That's where we're going. Frozen flow from the Ice Father. It keeps many things, but it won't have her.
Not if we can help it. More up?
We're lucky. Handholds have thawed. There. She's passed out again.
Between us, we can fight the machines off before they reach her.
Another tradition broken.
Take it from me. It gets easier the more you do it.
Be easy, Aloy.
can feel her fever even in this cold. She shouldn't have been putting weight on this leg.
She is awake. Miss Outlander. You brought her here, Ikri?
You think I went to the Nora homelands to find a spear to drive between us?
I told you. The ordeal is mine, and mine alone. I will survive.
Which would you rather keep, Mylen? Your leg or your pride? Because I think you're gonna have to choose.
Finish it.
I know what you think of me. But I vowed you'd join the White Teeth. And you will.
I will go back. Alone. No! Let me do this.
Please. Let her. Mylen, I hope you can forgive me someday.
I never accepted your help. It's the Werak you should ask for forgiveness.
I didn't care about the Werak.
She'll understand. You saved her life.
You don't know the Banuk very well, Aloy. We have so many ways to express a grudge, and only one to accept an apology. I have to go my own way. I don't belong with them, who left her to die. And I don't belong with...
Ikri.
I'll find a crack in this glacier, and I'll shout my grief into it. And the ice can keep it forever.
What should I tell them? The Werak.
That I fell. And that she endured. Will you?
Chill almost feels like a sunburn.
Greetings.
None of the southern tribes.
Mylen has returned. I expect you have something to say about this.
I do.
Then convince me what an outlander's word is worth.
You put her through this ordeal. She gave up everything for your rules. She refused aid, just like you taught her. Walked back on a ruined leg. Left a friend behind. She passed the test. That's my word. Are you questioning it?
My coldness to bring forth such heat? It must be the truth you speak.
The White Teeth shall accept her.
Outlander. So nothing of the other hunter? The one called Ikri?
She's gone. She sounded brave.
Her name will always be in my song.
The new crew of precious jewels. Never know when I might need these. Think of summer sun. Breeze through the trees. do.
one challenge at a time. The bandits at Stonehill will be dealt with in due course.